You can go to the original article, and it's laid out right there.
But the point I'm making though is that there are people who do the opposite of what you're saying and have greater success. In New Jersey, Drexel University finds that bail reform that does not include payments are working or is working. How do you speak to that?
Okay, Drexel University falls in the same area as several other studies that talk about recidivism. So, we've got New York, we've got Harris County DA currently is a Democrat DA saying recidivism is a bad problem. The Democratic DA, the previous one in New York, saying recidivism big problem. And so then you've got Drexel and you've got politicians that are giving out studies saying, oh, no, recidivism is really not a problem. And then you've got Drexel that, they look at maybe 2 or 3 years only on gun crimes only. And then they're making a broad statement that it has not, and it doesn't say it didn't decrease it said it didn't change. And so they're not saying that it's helped or hurt. They're just saying it's been no change whatsoever. I mean, their study reeks of cooking the books, just like New York and Houston did, because you go to Yolo County, the district attorney kept all of his statistics and all of his data during COVID, and he just compared people that were released on simple release mechanism and versus someone who was released on a private surety bail, and these are people who were released on because of nonviolent offenses, and he found that a person released simply had a 200% greater chance of committing a violent offense in the next 18 months versus somebody who was released on a private surety bail. What's the difference there? I think it's family involvement and accountability, family accountability, and the system's holding them accountable. If you take away accountability, our criminal element sees that as a green light to commit more crime. I mean, we've got situations in Harris County where people were released on personal bonds, simple release. They fail to show up. They get another one. They fail to show up, get another one. And it gets to be 17 or 18 times they fail to show up, and they just keep getting another personal bond, another personal bond. That's taking away accountability. When you do that, creates chaos, de facto decriminalization, commits more crime.
In Philadelphia, over 50% of the people are on social welfare.
Well, Philadelphia also has a substantial crime problem too.
And
Philadelphia had
yes,
over $1 billion in personal bonds that had not been collected. So, I mean, why are you even putting a monetary amount on them?
I'm about to say that. We talk about, I am going to bring the issue up because when we talk about crime and violence, I can talk about relative deprivation. I don't know if you believe in the theory. And I'm going to ask you the issue. When we look at crime and violence cannot be an isolated issue. Crime and violence is an issue that there are many things. Say, for example,
is it okay to commit crime in Philadelphia? I mean,
no,
do you think?
No, the point I'm making is this. Relative deprivation theory says that where you have high levels of income inequality and high levels of poverty, you have high levels of crime and violence. Philadelphia is
okay, but there are poor. Oh, look, I was very poor growing up. I'm very poor, and I didn't commit crime.
They rely on social welfare, so we want the families to post bail for their other families that are caught in the criminal justice system. They're taking the money from the state. They're taking money from where they don't have. So the point is that the issue of fairness and equity is still there. Okay, and the fact of the matter is asking the family to pressure or to involve them in.
Who's going to pressure them then? Who's going to pressure these people to change? I mean, okay, so you're a young male living in an inner city. You get approached by a gang. How are you going to not go in the gang unless your family pressures you? And then you have problems.
Some of these guys don't even have a positive context. That you talk about family.
So what's the answer? Family? So what's the answer? We just we decriminalize everything. We turn our inner cities into, just complete chaos. Is that the answer?
We can.
Then what's the answer?
We talk about monitoring. Say, for example, I interviewed Judge Stephanie Sawyer, and they launched the Sentencing and Supervision Foundation in Philadelphia. I happened to interview the judge.
Why don't we just pay them not to commit crime? Why don't we give them a place to live and pay them not to commit crime?
Well, what I said to you, there are mental health issues. There are socioeconomic issues. And the issue about bail reform, what I'm saying is that we cannot have the hypothetical argument is to rely on the family to post bail and pressure them to hold them accountable.
Well,
But I'm
we
saying
also can't have a hypothetical argument that everybody in the inner city doesn't have family. And so, what is the solution, though? What is the solution that you're proposing that if we
monitored
can't
bail.
do
What about monitored bail?
monitor
Monitored bail.
bail?
Yes. What about monitored bail?
And what
What
is
about monitored?
monitor bail? We're going to put everybody on
Okay.
a GPS system. We're going to put everybody on a GPS so we know where they are when they committed the crime.
It works. What's wrong with that?